So, I'm reading this story, and in it there's a bumper sticker that says, "My kid can beat up your honor student." And I've actually seen bumper stickers like this in real life, that people have. And I just started thinking about that. And I was like, when did people stop valuing intelligence? I mean, physical prowess does indeed have a value. Like, if you're smart, but you can't, like, you're not strong enough to get off your butt and go for a walk for like 5 minutes, that's definitely a bad thing. But if you're strong as heck, but you can't, like, think coherently, that's also a bad thing. And as our society becomes more and more developed, intelligent people become more and more of a necessity. But also, the things that fall under the category of common levels of intelligence become more and more things fall into that category because there's more and more to know, and there are more and more things that everyone should know because there's so much to know. And really, you can never know everything. Like, that's not even possible because we've spent, millennia trying to learn everything, and we still don't even touch the tip of the iceberg. But I was trying to figure out why this bumper sticker, like, not even why this bumper sticker exists, but why someone would put it on the car, why that sentiment exists. Why is our society so against intelligent people? And I was thinking about it, and I was like, really, a lot of people seem to be intimidated by intelligence, which doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, why is intelligence an intimidating thing? I mean, it's definitely, like, I guess I can kind of see why it would be a little bit intimidating to see someone who is very intelligent, but after that initial shock moment of, wow, this person is really smart, I think that people should go into more of a, what is there to be learned from this person? Because really, everyone, no matter, like, everyone has something to share. You can learn something from everyone, even if they're less intelligent. Um, Everyone has a story, and there's something to be learned from that. So, I was thinking about that, and then, it's really like intelligence is what got us to where we are in our society today. So, intelligence definitely has a value even in the history of our own country, but at the same time, I feel like intelligence is also responsible for the ruin of things. Because people want to be around people who seem smart but aren't actually smart because they're intimidated by people who are smart. They're intimidated by people who are smart, and they feel inferior to them for some reason. And they want to be around people who seem smart, but not people who are smart, because people who are smart can say, hey, you're wrong. But people who only seem smart aren't going to be smart enough to say, hey, you're wrong. Um, so I was kind of thinking about that, and then I got into thinking about, really, what is intelligence? Because a lot of times, like, honor kids, for example, that's just like you make good grades. When a grade is just a numerical value attached to performance in a classroom, and it's supposed to measure intelligence, but it doesn't measure intelligence like it should. It measures how much work someone is willing to put in and spit back answers. So really, grades and such things as that aren't matters of intelligence, it's matters of fact memorization and the ability to spit back what a teacher wants to hear. Which, I feel like that's not what we should be doing in classrooms. I feel like classrooms should be about teaching people how to learn and how to use what it is that they know. Because people, after they finish going to a public education facility or whatever, they should continue to learn on their own. Like, not even in a classroom, there are still things to learn from reading and from talking to people and from experiences. So I feel like people should be taught how to learn, and then they should be taught how to use what they've learned in real life and how to apply that information. And then, so I guess for me, intelligence is the application of knowledge. So you have to know some things, and then you have to be able to use what you know. because just knowing something isn't going to help you, but being able to use what you know does help you. So, and then I think there's also a value to admitting that you don't know all the answers, and that's something important. And then I kind of got into thinking about this, and I was thinking more about, what different people seem as intelligent, and what makes someone intelligent. How can you tell if someone's intelligent? And I kind of realized that people who just make stuff up or misunderstand something, like kind of have a general idea of it, but if they say it with confidence, people will believe them. And a really good example of this is a lot of petitions, or politicians, when they first start out. People will just jump on board with that. And people don't go and look at information for themselves, and they don't ask where it came from very often. So that kind of gets people into trouble because they're just accepting the information that is fed to them, which isn't a good thing. You should look at where the information came from, because there are sources of information that are valid sources of information where you can be intelligent, and then there are sources of information that really it's just people misunderstanding things. But because they say it with confidence, people will believe it. And I feel like it's a bad thing that in our society we're so inclined to follow those people, because really it's just people who start to learn to be intelligent and then they stop because they stop caring about it, or because they realize, at least subconsciously, that our society does not value intelligence. So then they're not really truly intelligent. They just kind of have that potential to become intelligent people. And it's a bunch of those people following around basically street performers, really confident street performers. And it becomes a popularity contest, and who can be the most confident and the most exuberant and who can have the best track record, when really our society needs to be built around smart people following smart people. And I understand that people can't do the research on everything to find out where everything came from, but when someone comes up to you and tells you something, and you think it's really cool, you should be like, oh, where'd you learn that? And if they're like, I read it on the internet, that's like there are incredibly valid sources of information on the internet, but there are also people who just talk on the internet, which is funny because apparently I'm one of those people just talking on the internet. I mean, none of you have any reason to believe anything that I say, but it's just kind of my thoughts. But really, just think about things. I really feel like our society doesn't value intelligence, and that was just really frustrating to me, and I just kind of wanted to vent a little bit and throw that out there. So let me know what you guys think. Say something, make a comment or whatever, and just think about what it is to be smart and what it is to be intelligent. And I don't know, next time you see someone like picking on some kid because they're a geeky know-it-all, say, hey, it's cool that kid knows stuff. Leave him alone. So, see you guys later.